Have you ever heard of these cool plates? About 3 or 4 weeks ago I received an email from BIGTREERECH asking me if I want to test out their new cool plate. So after a brief research on the internet, they claim to save up to 50% of energy. Of course I thought I won't save 50% of energy with a different build plate. That's ridiculous, right? Right? Let me tell you, this video went different than expected. I was quite skeptical, but the email said, we only accept an honest opinion. Well, of course you can have my honest opinion, so I went out and tested it. What I mean by that is I stayed home for hours and tested it. But let's start from the beginning. By the way, these packages were in my room for like 5 days and I really wanted to open it, so I'm super happy I'm making this video now and I can open it. After opening the package, I was greeted with 3 build plates. Ooh, nice! Ooh! We will try these ones out as well. They have like different patterns and I was always the guy saying, I don't need a second build plate. I'm really curious about the Honeycomb. I know this is about efficiency and electricity, but I'm still curious. Then there is the Cryo Grip plate, which we will take a closer look at, because it's the most interesting one. Why the most interesting one? Because we are still all about efficiency on this channel, just to make that clear. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. And this is a really weird feeling. It's really rough, but I guess it needs to be rough with these low temperatures, like 30-35 degrees. They also sent me this Panda Claw A1 hardened gear set. Did I say that right? Yes, I said that right. Thank you so much. That was the 5th try. Oh my god. However, I don't see myself using this anytime soon because my extruder works absolutely fine and never change a running system. Looking nice though. So the next days I will be printing, I will be testing these build plates. I will show you the energy efficiency. We will compare it to the original PEI Bambulab A1 build plate and see how much energy we will actually save. I have no idea what to print. I don't want to print something completely useless, and I haven't printed any Banshees so far, and I really don't want to print any Banshees. What do you do with them? You can compare them, yes, but you can also print something more useful than a Banshee. I will think about something. Maybe I will just print these cans. You can always use cans. When it comes to energy consumption, I will be using this smart plug. I can put a timer on it, I can see the energy consumption. I don't do anything else with it. Starting with the first test, I was using the Bambulab A1 textured PEI plate because it came with the printer. A bed temperature of 65 degrees or 149 Fahrenheit for all the Americans out there. Yes, of course you could argue about the bed temperature because you can print with lower degrees. However, that's the preset. That's how most of the people print PLA using a Bambulab because it's 65 degrees, and why would you change it? And send it. Oh, and I should mention, this test is without the AMS. It's coming straight from the spool holder, which is over here, going into the printer. So while preparing, the printer is pulling around 100 to 300 watts. Little update, we are 58% into the print and we have used 103 watts so far. I don't know what that means, but we will find out. Ouch. Nice. So how do I explain this? I kind of messed up. With threads you want to usually go for a layer line with around 0.12, so it is way smoother and easier to open and close the box. I messed that up with the first print, so I will just reprint it and let you know what the actual numbers were. Just to make sure, I printed 2 cans. The first one took 216 watts, the second one took 213 watts. I just wanted to make sure my results are right. And I just want to mention, I always started the print with a cool bed. I was talking about the temperature. The printer was never preheated, so we had all the same conditions for every print. The BQ Cool build plate is installed, it's printing, it's looking good. Just feeling wise, I prefer the PEI plate. However, Bruh. However, it makes absolutely sense that it feels grippy and sticky. Maybe not sticky, just grippy. I'm kind of excited because 30 degrees is a huge difference compared to 65. So I will let the printer print without a time lapse. I can't do a time lapse because if I would do a time lapse, I would waste extra energy. I would create a prime tower and this would kind of change the results, and we want to see how efficient can we actually print. So I will let the printer print and keep you updated. Wait. I didn't want to film this, but right now my printer is printing, the fan is full on blasting, and it's not pulling more than 54 watts. I really didn't expect that. That's amazing. I mean, look at it. It's full on going. At the moment, the printer is using 43 watts. I think we will save a lot of energy. We can also see where the print was. You can see these two dots. I obviously can't tell you the long-term effects of it. I have a little bit more. I printed a flower pot over here. It looked really nice, by the way. And I have this flower pot spot over here now as well. I also printed this flower pot on the cool plate, 30 degrees, no problem, looks fine. This is the bottom. And I think it's a pretty cool design. So it will look somewhat like this. Not a super useful print to fix any problem, but it's a present and I think it's a nice flower pot. Yes, I just touched my build plate. I should probably clean it. Talking about cleaning it, you should just clean it with water and soap, not with alcohol. At least that's what it says here. Because you don't want to ruin your build plate, right? That might be a really important fact. So I deleted my data. We are at 0 watts again, and we are going for the next print. Currently on the Honeycomb, 65 degrees, just a normal print. Also taking a time lapse this time, so for the next 2 hours I won't be able to use my phone. Just for you, but that's okay, and maybe for me a little bit as well. We have results, my dudes. I had not expected any of these results. It's kind of shocking, crazy, whatever. Super excited to show you the results. They are over here. I don't think it makes any sense to show you the iPad, so I will just put the thing here. And I want to start with these two cans I printed on the Bamboo Lab pie plate. They turned out really well and I really like the texture. However, in the first print we ended up using 216 watts. After that we used up 213 watts with a total print time of 2 hours. All of the print times were 2 hours, by the way. And I read some comments about the cool plate that it saves you time because the plate doesn't need to heat up to 65 degrees. Well, that's completely false, at least in my case, because the nozzle takes a lot longer to heat up. So yeah, you won't save any time with a cool plate. Maybe when taking the cool plate off, because it doesn't need to cool down, you might save a minute, maybe 30 seconds if you are impatient like me. But there's no time saving, which is mentionable. Nothing I think I should mention. But keep the number in mind, 214.5 in average watts for these original build plate prints. This is actually not a huge amount of energy. I will get there. Smooth plate. I printed the smooth plate. I hope you can see it. You can see it in a picture as well, or you can see it really well. I'm not happy with the print. What can I say? The print quality just doesn't look nice. I don't know why I have these layers over there. I did let the print cool down because I learned out of my earlier mistakes. I just let it cool down. I didn't rip it off or anything. If you know what happened here, please let me know, but it was a clean, new, fresh build plate, kind of looking awkward. However, I printed not with 65 degrees, I printed with 45 degrees. PLA 45 to 55 degrees. So of course I went with 45. 2 hour print again, or 2 hours and 4 minutes. They were all 2 hours and 4 minutes. There was no difference at all in any build plate. 122 watts, which is an energy saving of, let me just check my sheet, 39%. Or compared to using 100% of energy, we just used 61%. This is already a lot. I I think this is already a lot. Otherwise, I didn't have problems with it. The can was just sticking to the bed. There was bad adhesion. Everything was good. Cool plate. Cool plate blows my mind. The print over here I think looks absolutely flawless and perfectly. I prefer the PEI plate. This is just personal preference. Over here you have the Bambu Lab PEI. Over here you have the cool plate. However, after 2 test prints we ended up using 0.09 watts for the whole can, 0.045 watts per hour compared to, let me just check my sheet, 0.107. These are savings of over 58% of energy, and that's a lot. 58%! And we are not done yet, because there's one catch. In Germany, electricity is super expensive. However, I also compared it to the UK, and no, don't worry, I also compared it to the US. Of course, I compared it to the US price as well, and let me tell you guys, you have some really cheap energy prices. Meaning, when printing PLA on a Bambu Lab A1 printer with the presettings, you will end up spending around 4.19 cents per hour. By the way, all the calculations are made in euro cents, so you would need to convert it in whatever currency you would like to have it. But just to make it fair, I converted everything in the same currency. In the UK, you would spend 1 cent less per hour. And in the US, I can't even read that number, it's so small. However, for all the Germans out there, if you want to spend the energy prices of the Americans, if you are jealous, maybe try it with the Cryo Grip plate or any cool plate, because with this cool plate, printing with 30 degrees, we went down to 1.76 cents per hour printing PLA, which is still not what the Americans pay, but almost. What have we learned so far? Printing in Germany is a lot more expensive than in the US. Printing in general is kind of cheap, but we were not done if we wouldn't have calculated a break-even point, a return on investment. How long does it take to actually get your money back? That's why I created a second list, so you can read it just here. And when considering the BQ cool plate costs 24.45 euros, and you have cost per print hour in Germany at just roughly 4.2 cents, you will need to print 582 hours to get a return on investment. In England, it's around 200 hours more, and about the Americans out there, I won't even start. That might sound like a lot, but maybe it actually is not that much if we look at the next numbers, which is the return of investment after 1 year and the return of investment after 2 years. You will need to print around 1.6 hours per day every day, including holidays, weekends, sick days and whatever, to get your return on investment. England a little over 2 hours, Americans close to 4 hours. You are just looking for a return on investment after 2 years? Well, just divide it by half and here are the numbers. Yes, Pete, but I'm just printing around 1 hour a week. Well, here are the numbers for printing 1 hour a week with your Bambu Lab A1 printer. 11 years in Germany, raising a kid until it goes to its first parties in England, and in the US it takes longer than some crypto YouTubers already retiring and living on Bali. 27 years. However, that's just printing 1 hour a week. And yes, of course, with a different printer, everything looks different. With the A1 Mini, you already save like 15% by default. With a bigger printer, it will obviously consume more watts per hour by default. Just a quick side note to the Honeycomb build plate and the Hound Soothe build plate over here. I kind of messed it up in the beginning because I was printing in the settings as a smooth plate. So you have these white thingies. Doesn't look really pleasant. However, after going into the World Wide Web and doing my research, I printed it as an engineering plate. I then let the engineering plate cool down to normal temperatures so I could just pick the print up without breaking it off. And now it looks a lot better. Take a look at this. Same results with this thing over here, looking absolutely flawlessly. However, 65 degrees compared to 30 degrees. saving 58%, I will probably just stick to the cool plate, since I have it anyways. So if you have a print farm, you might want to think about a cool plate. If your wife thinks you have a print farm because you are printing so many action figures and whatnot, you might want to get a cool plate and say, hey babe, now we are saving 60% of energy. However, if you are just the normal print guy who prints a few hours a week, it might be not worth it buying a cool plate. Maybe you have solar on the roof anyways. Just to be completely transparent with you guys, Bamboo Lab just released a Super Track cool plate, or Bamboo Cool Plate Super Track. Bamboo Cool Plate Super Track. They claim it to be long lasting, however they say you can go down to 45 degrees compared to 65 degrees. Thanks to my wonderful testing, you already know how much you will save going down to 45 degrees coming from 65 degrees. It is a little more expensive right now. Even with the Black Friday discount, you will get it for $31.99 compared to $24.50 or whatever it was. There are links to both of the build plates in the description down below. If you decide to get a BQ build plate, you can use my link and I will get a little kickback. However, please calculate for yourself if it makes sense before you just go out there and buy it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something today. Don't forget to leave a like if you are still here. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon. By the way, I will leave a link for these cans down below, just underneath the like button. So if you want to test your own printer and see how much energy it takes for this can with your printer, feel free to do it. Feel free to comment it so people know how much it takes on an A1 Mini, an Ender or whatever. I hope I didn't do any mistakes with the calculations. The Excel will also be in the description down below. Feel free to use it, change it, do whatever with it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you could learn something today. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon.